What I want to do now is actually turn it over to our wonderful guest speaker. So Maheen is here from Heart of San Mateo County. She is a Grove grantee, just like all of you. And she's going to talk about how her organization has utilized Catchafire over the past year or so. So Maheen, feel free to come on and take it away. Oh, yes, there you are. Good.
All right, great, cool. Well, thank you again for the invite, Tyler and Catchafire family. I'm excited to be here with you all. So my name is Maheen Shafiabadi, and I am the Business Operations and Communications Manager, which, as Tyler said, all the hats, for a nonprofit based in San Mateo County called Housing Endowment and Regional Trust, or HEART, which we use frequently. Our mission is to create affordable housing for low and middle income families in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we are a very small team. We are 3.5 employees. So Catchafire has been an amazing addition to how we get our work done. So I'm going to share with you just a quick overview of these three areas. I want to talk about getting to know Catchafire from my experience, projects that I've worked on, as well as future projects, and then pro tips, things that I've learned along the way and designed for myself to enhance my usage of Catchafire and my fellow teammates' usage as well. So getting to know Catchafire. I want to say first, I actually previously supplied my services pro bono on a different platform, and I was not aware of Catchafire. So when I learned of it, I was super excited to get to know another platform like this. And what you've seen in the dashboard here was delightful for me. The streamlined flow of the work, as well as just how simple it is to kind of find what you're looking for, right, with the search, as well as the assessment, which takes you to recommended projects, are all really fabulous features that I appreciated from the beginning. I kind of along the same vein, really love that built-in assessment and the scoped projects. For those who especially might be inexperienced in project management, I think this is an amazing feature. I'm personally experienced here and have taught others how to do it, but I love this feature. It actually helps me teach my colleagues the important steps that we work through in project management to be able to fill in those blanks, like you saw earlier, when you are filling in your project profile. So that's a little bit about my first impressions with Catchafire and getting to know it. Catchafire's virtual platform, the fact that it's posted nationwide is also, I think, something that is wonderful. It expands our ability to work with professionals throughout the country. We are definitely a very regional, localized nonprofit, and yet why shouldn't we tap into resources of those who want to give their services to us? So I have particularly enjoyed trying to find someone who's located here, but ultimately what I've found are experts who may not be in my time zone, but who have some kind of connection to, definitely to our mission, but also to the area. Maybe they lived here for a certain amount of time, or they know someone, or they're in one of the audiences that we specifically serve. And I'll touch on that in a moment. Internally, I think I also really wanted to offer, I have become the most familiar with the platform on our team. So you heard Tyler mention earlier, you don't have to be like the Catchafire person on the team. And I would say that I am the point person when it comes to guiding others, and that's okay. I love searching for what options we might benefit from and providing those to our leadership to consider. So I'm always thinking about how could we shorten our delivery times? Like, could we use an expert to facilitate our strategic planning or our SWOT analysis, or help us create a data analysis report? Whether they go with my recommendation or not is another story, but I am frequently bringing those to the table as essentially contractors that could help us do our work even quicker. All right, so I said I would talk about some projects as well. The first project I want to share with you is an annual report, or on the Catchafire platform is the Impact Report graphic design. So I found I built a great relationship with Natasha, as you see here. She was fast and super efficient, and it was a really enjoyable experience. she designed something that greatly modernized our look overall with minimal design direction from me. I do have a background in marketing communications, as well as a master's in organization development, but I didn't have to give her a lot. She was amazing. And I wanted to show you a view of our most recent annual report. When I came on board, this is what we looked like. So kind of boxy, right? It was in 2016. We were a little behind, and I came on and contracted Natasha, and we created this beautiful new product that really modernizes our look, and was something we were proud to share with everyone who's in contact with Heart, and even used it to do a soft ask from our donors. So yeah, you can see it. Thank you for showing that, Tyler. I also wanted to share a little bit about a brand guide. So this actually happened before my time with Heart, but it is a tool that is enhancing my ability to build the brand of a new community resource that started before my time, and now we are launching it. So the brand guide is actually in the PDF that I sent you. Yeah, there it is. So for those of you who may not be familiar, a style guide shows you how to use the logo, the color palette that you can use, typology, etc. And what we're working on now, what we're able to build because we have this, is the messaging architecture, right? So for our launch, how do we talk about the brand? What tone does it have, etc. And this has been an amazing tool that I have been able to use in sharing with new designers that I've contracted to build flyers for this, as well as social media posts and all of the outreach and marketing that we need to do. Let's see. So the last project I want to share with you is something that's a little bit of us coloring outside the lines of what Catchafire really aims for, which is the short term that you heard Tyler mention. So this is, I couched it under the digital survey creation, and it's actually under our operations account, not my name. So that one started in September of last year, and it is for a housing demand survey for schools. So for teachers and staff. For those of you who are familiar, who may not be familiar with the San Francisco Bay Area, housing is constantly having a crisis with inventory. And so our role is to help schools survey their staff and teachers as to what they need for schools to potentially invest in building their own housing. So we connected with Sarah, who is amazing. And at the time of scoping the project, I was very clear with her about the fact that we had additional deliverables, that the scope was much more than what we were seeing in the pre-designed scope. So I included those in the project profile, and we had a good discussion. And we never anticipated the project to still be going to today, but it is. And I attribute that to Sarah's dedication to this project and my cadence in communication and constant check-ins with her to ensure that she's okay in time and availability, as well as our ability to be flexible to maintain her contract with us to finish this project. So that's something I'm very excited about. And at the same time, I hope that projects don't generally go that long. So up next, I'm super excited about using the CRM setup, which is one of the pre-scoped tools. We have a CRM, but we are not using it. And I need an assist to get all of our ducks in a row, and then teach the rest of my teammates to help me with that, as well as website development. So our website needs a refresh, much like our annual report did. I'm looking forward to using those pre-scoped projects. All right, so last, I promised you some pro tips, and I hope I'm doing okay on time here. Thank you, Tyler. So Tyler talked about some of these, and I can't underscore them enough. Interviewing your candidates is an amazing way to make sure you have a two-way conversation. Not only that you like this person, that you want that skill set, you want that look that they focus on, their domain in design, but also that they want to work with you. I definitely focus on discussing response times. That I have a specific expectation, and does that work for them as well? And we commit to each other on that call if it's a match. I also definitely focus on expectations of one another outside of response times, like the communication they should expect from me in general about project progress or scope shifts, etc. And I also have to say, please, please, please always say thank you to all of your candidates, whoever you've spoken with. That is going to reflect really well on your organization's brand as well as yourself as a professional. And I mention that because I interviewed several people, and these are all amazing individuals who are, giving their time, and we're saying no. So like Tyler said, that can be awkward. I chose to say, hey, I think you're absolutely amazing and your skills absolutely match. I've chosen to go with someone else, but I so appreciate you considering us. And I got responses from several folks who received that saying, oh my God, I've never been thanked before when I've been turned down. Thank you so much for that. So I offer that to you as an option. And I mentioned this earlier, providing regular progress updates. Pro tip, if it's not weekly, maybe it's bi-weekly, or as you've discussed what milestones are coming up, making sure everyone's aligned around where the project is going, especially those scope shifts and timeline shifts. I don't think we would have Sarah along for our school survey, 10 months in, if we hadn't been very transparent as well as, of course, flexible with her. And of course, building relationships is key here. So if you truly enjoy working with an expert once your project has closed, or when you're getting close to the close of the project, ask if they'd be interested in doing more projects together. Why not? If we find someone we like and we have a good understanding of one another, why not ask? If we don't ask, we don't know. It does decrease time in finding help in the future, and this has worked for me. So I have found one graphic designer who did the annual report, who is now working on flyers for us, and I've found other designers as well to help with additional projects. I also received this, it's a gift. I mean, these individuals who I said no to also came back and said, but I'd still love to work with you if you'd find it interesting in the future, touch base, right? So really taking the time to cultivate those relationships, I think is extremely valuable in not only, of course, the relationship, but making things more efficient for us down the road. And on that vein as well, standardizing your communications is going to enhance your ability to really flow through this entire sequence of posting, recruiting, hiring, and onboarding. And so I personally created templates for recruiting and follow-up, as well as all the project management pieces that follow. So with that, I think I am all done, and I would hand it back to you, Tyler, unless there's questions.